Mount Shasta seems to sleep on a sunny spring day. But at its base, the mountain is very much awake. On its south side, bubbling springs feed the headwaters of the Sacramento River. To the north, more springs feed the mountain's namesake, the Shasta River. The Shasta winds through Siskiyou County's wide-open ranch lands and finally through a steep canyon to rendezvous with the Klamath River 40 miles to the north. But the Shasta is a sick river.
There was the federal listing of coho. Following that, not too long after, was a near federal listing of steelhead. Following that was a state listing of coho.
When you have 80% of the Shasta River contributing really hot water, it's obviously a huge problem.
Because we have oxygen problems and we also have temperature problems in the Shasta River.
Sediment from erosion, nitrates from fertilizer and cattle, and heated irrigation water have pushed oxygen out of the river and made it dangerously warm. Shasta's once legendary salmon population has been choked to near extinction. In early 2009, only 30 juvenile salmon were counted.
Beavers have hands, and they can just reach in there and pull it and chew it off. So
the North Coast Regional Water Board has issued an order to help cure what ails this river. It's called a TMDL, which stands for Total Maximum Daily Load. Basically, it tells river users how much use the Shasta can stand.
And it has goals and expectations of landowners. There's reporting requirements. And we're pretty much building on a lot of existing collaborative efforts, cooperative efforts that have been going on for many years in the watershed. But it's basically a framework for restoring water quality. And in this case, it's dissolved oxygen and temperature, which affects salmon and steelhead.
The TMDL is more than a chemical equation. It's an important part of restoring this river. The Shasta River TMDL sets the environmental limits on what people and livestock may discharge into the river. There can't be too much dirt, warm water, or chemicals like nitrate. A TMDL allows river users to determine how best to reach its goals. But the state and regional water boards help achieve those goals with technical support and money. Shasta Big Springs Ranch is a key part of the Shasta River restoration. The Nature Conservancy now owns this 4,500-acre property. 3 miles of the Shasta River runs across the ranch and meets up with more than 2 miles of Big Springs Creek sheltered here.
The goal here is to reduce the heating. We're going to have some natural heating over 2 miles, but if we can reduce that heating down to where we have favorable conditions at the mouth of Big Springs Creek and the Shasta River, then we're going to really help solve some of the temperature issues for the Shasta River.
The Regional Water Board's TMDL is a key tool for the Nature Conservancy. It is an important guide for the ranch plan the organization is using to bring back this stretch of the river.
The ranch plan was to identify both the threats of the problem, what's causing the water temperature, the water to heat up, and then what can we do to solve that.
In less than a year, the Conservancy has seen a tremendous change.
We're going from almost no production of anadromous fish to where they're seeing tens of thousands of fall Chinook in there that are successfully rearing and heading downstream, just like they used to 20 years ago.
The Nature Conservancy has fenced off Big Springs Creek and the river from cattle. It has put in aquatic plants to stabilize the banks and narrow the channels, and is planting shrubs and trees to provide cool habitat for fish. They've also virtually eliminated warm irrigation runoff, called tailwater. Much of the effort is focused on simply leaving parts of the ranch alone.
And we were able to see what you guys are kind of seeing now is all this vegetation growing back. And there were some definite lights that went on when we were out there. Is that, wait a second, this thing is restoring itself by just keeping the cattle out.
The results of their efforts so far, more than 10,000 salmon fry hatched in a single season.
It's probably one of the more easily restorable rivers. I'm thinking 10, 20 years to really see some good improvement. And the TMDL is a long-term program. I mean, it took a long time to get to where we're at, 150 years. and it's not going to happen overnight.
I think we can do it. I think we can put the Shasta River back on the map as a major producer of salmon year after year after year and be proud of ourselves for that.